Sorry, YouTube, hold on. This is Max from Rising Spirits Airsoft. Give me a second. This is Max from Rising Spirits Airsoft with a little, another Airsoft school video. This one is going to be on motors. They're very important. Oh, God. Okay, sorry. Oh, jeez. Okay, now these ones are stuck. Okay, here, I gotta keep this one a little bit separate. Okay, basically here's what motors are. I guess I'll put the camera down for this. Motors come in all different shapes, or not shapes, but a whole bunch of sizes, and types of firing ways that they have. Some are high speed, like this one. Standard, like this one. And this is a high performance, mainly based on torque, but has a good amount of speed to it. They all have very one base component. That's the pinion gear. The pinion gear is a little gear that spins out on the top. Here, let me zoom in for you. Sorry for bad quality. Again, this does not have an auto-focusing thing. They also have different types of pinion heads. This is a half, I call it the half moon. I think that's actually what it is called. This has another half moon. And this one is a full circle. Some have very weak magnets. Usually the high-speed ones are weaker, have a weaker magnets than the standard, as you can see right here. Very low and very low resistance. So yeah, this is, and we can test right here. We'll see what how long it takes for this to attract to it. Not that much. This was a high speed. It's very easy to take apart. This is a standard. Much harder to take apart. Much harder. These are very weaker magnets, like, oh, okay, like a million times weaker. Here, let me zoom out. Motors can range from $10-15 to like hundreds, not hundreds, but like around $100. That's because they each are different. Every single motor is pretty much different, even if you buy the two of the exact same motors. It's precision in these that really make it a good motor. Meaning that a motor that is $20 is not going to perform as well as a motor that costs $50, like these two. These are both this is a high performance, this is a standard. Some standards are better than others. But the best types of motors out there are the high-performance motors that are based on torque, meaning that they will have a good amount of speed, but won't do too much wear and tear on your gearbox. Let's say if you're using an M120 with an M190 motor, you're probably going to get around 25 to maybe even 30 RPS. If you're using an M120 in a higher voltage battery, I personally use a 9.6 just to limit the wear and tear and make it a little bit more controllable. The good thing about torque motors is that you can pretty much use them with any stock gun that has metal internals, with a polycarb piston as being pretty much the only plastic part, as being the gears having to be steel, the wires having enough voltage to send to this so you can get its peak performance in the 9.6. Some motors can shoot so fast with like a standard motor can only take so much voltage in without burning out. Motors like the M190 motors, I also have a long type of the same type in one of my M4 style guns, is that these motors can intake a ton of voltage and not burn out as quick as some of these will. That being said, you'll get a higher durability out of your motor and a higher performance out of your gun by just installing these. Most Chinese guns like A&K, Echo 1 use lower EGM Clone 1000 motors, and they're wound for a decent amount of torque, but sometimes don't pull the spring back as much as you would. The good part about these types of motors is that when it starts slowing down, it'll start slowing down, but it'll still pull the motor. It'll still pull the spring back because the torque in this is so strong that if you turn this into if this started losing torque, it'd probably have the same effect as just without the speed, but you'll still have your gun having its FPS and range just with a little bit lower ROF. That being said, basically these motors just outrange the other motors entirely. There's really nothing that these motors have that's good for them. They're stock motors. They make your gun work. That's all they're pretty much supposed to do. And even with these, oh man, these things pick up everything. Make sure you don't place these around metal parts. I mean, they're good for picking up things, but as you can see, they're pretty hard to pull apart. These just have standard magnetite in them, very low. I can just shake it off. This has neodymium, rare earth Chinese magnet. It's it's found in China. It's basically powered by electricity. The more electrical current hitting the neodymium, the stronger the effect's going to be. That's what makes them high torque. And that being said, a higher voltage obviously would mean a higher rate of fire, but also can make your wear and tear a little bit less controllable, and that's obviously not good. A little test here. I'll show you guys the power of these truly. Clear up a little bit of space. This is really messy. We'll just do a sector gear as for the test. So, we'll see how close we can get to this before it picks it up. So that's about, let's give it about 3 inches until this thing gets picked up. So 3 inches for the Magnum torque motor. Let's see how much for this. This doesn't even pick it up off the ground. As you can see, this is where it picked it up, and that's only because it was close. So, the high-speed motor, really nothing. Now we have the standard motor, which has a little bit more torque than the, let's see how much we can get. Again, same effect. Even like this, it just pretty much has no effect. Well, this can hold all 3 motors with ease and wiggle, and then hold everything pretty much. So, okay. So basically, heavier the magnet, the better everything's gonna be for you. If you don't want to spend $50 on a motor, get an Element motor. They make great motors. I only got this pretty much because I love the color, to be honest. I just think it looks cool. And again, these are great high-performance motors that will limit wear and tear onto your gearbox. So this has been Airsoft School 101 on a segment on motors. My next one will probably be on anti-reversal latches. So thanks for watching. This is Max from Rising Spirits Airsoft.